Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of She Who Remembers. I'm your host, Antonia, and today we are talking about the heavy topic of forgiveness. And so I feel that you're all ready to hear this information. Not because it's the easiest information to digest, but because it is necessary, and I've been seeing a lot of my people battle forgiving other people or expecting forgiveness from those other people. And so I'm going to start by saying what forgiveness is, because I think so often we think forgiveness is something that we need to receive and reciprocate in order for this exchange to happen, to then be able to release a grudge and move on, right? But what forgiveness actually is to accept and let go, period. So forgiveness is to accept the situation and then completely let go of it. Not anchoring yourself in the story anymore, completely moving forward without holding on to what already happened and telling the story over and over and letting it ruminate in your mind. We let go so that we can be free. Free from the situation, free from the stories, free from whatever that person was doing to you, for you. And it allows us to move forward in lightness and in peace. And so I just want to explain why we forgive. We forgive because for as long as we are holding on to what that person did and making them out to be a villain and making them seem so horrible, we're actually giving that person our power. We are quite literally giving our power away, and you are letting them hold space in your mind rent-free. So when you're able to come from a place of forgiving them, you are actually taking that power back and that energy back for yourself and letting go completely, so that situation, that person is just not clouding any judgment, and you actually are able to reflect and review the situation in a way that allows you to understand why this happened in the first place, so that you can move forward and understand the patterning to prevent it from happening again. And so I say this because typically in any situation, and here's where things get tough and you might shut down hearing this, but hearing uncomfortable information, or hearing information that makes you feel uncomfortable, I should say, is a very good thing. It's a positive sign that it is obstructing your social conditioning and these boxes and files that you've created for yourself. It's going outside of the box of your norm, and being able to expand and stretch your mind in these ways allows you to move forth in ways that you never have before. And so if hearing this is making you feel like, I don't know, good, let's keep going. And so here comes that uncomfy information. So typically we will have a part in whatever it is that we are seeking forgiveness from. So obviously this podcast is for the collective, and so everybody's situation will be massively different, but typically we can cause some of these issues by perpetrating the event that took place. Whether we are trying to be the savior in the situation, or whether we are showing up in a way that may have caused this situation to happen, we too have a part in this, where our own shadows are coming out to play. And so something that's really important to remember is when you are going through the process of forgiveness with this other person, you need to take a step back and look at the situation from all of the possible angles that you could possibly look at it from. So Even talking it through with a friend, a very trusted friend whose opinion you really respect and value. Hey, this happened. What's your perception of this situation? How are you perceiving it? And being very open and porous to receiving this information, to look at it through a lens of another person, a third party. Then you want to look at it through your lens of, how did I maybe perpetrate this or make this a little bit... There's a little birdie out there that's jumping around. This bird's so excited about this episode. How did I add a little bit of fuel to the fire, or maybe, help be the cause of this thing in any sort of way? And that really takes you kind of like letting your ego die for a little bit, to be like, can I look at myself in this situation and take any accountability? And then you look at the other person and you come from a place of understanding that how they acted and what they did to you, which I said before is for you, because these situations are always teaching you something about yourself and your patterning in your life that you need to take with you and apply to other situations in the future. And so how were they acting in a way that was actually their own wounding projecting onto you? Can you just sit and realize that how they acted in this situation actually had nothing to do with you in the first place? This had nothing to do with you from the start. This simply was something that they need to heal from and work through, so that they're not projecting their issues and their problems onto other people. And so when you can take a step back and look at that within the other person, you then come from a place of empathy, of like, damn, I want to pray for this person. Damn, I hope that they really get the healing that they deserve. And you can't be that person for them. And so this is where I say, like, this information is a tough pill to swallow, because it is an ego death, because it is having to realize, I want this person to forgive me. They need to know what they did. They hurt me. Oh, woe is me. Now you're a victim. Now you're wanting them to validate your victim mentality. You see how this is all ego driven? And it's like, yes, we can accept and feel that the situation really hurt, that this was not okay, right? But forgiveness comes from within. You can't sit there and expect the other person who did this to be able to see themselves clearly in the mirror and see themselves as the issue here. It's just not going to happen. You trying to shake them and be like, you did this and you did this and you made me feel this way and now I feel blah, blah, blah. It's falling on deaf ears. Truly. So you being agitated and angry and having this grief, that's beautiful. These emotions are a blessing. Are they like a little bit, icky in the body? Yeah, for sure. We're human. We get to feel emotions. It's a beautiful thing, but it is your superpower. You showed up in love and authenticity, and you showed up in a way that you were in your frequency and your embodiment. And your expectation was that that person was going to meet you there time and time and time again, and then they fall short and they don't, or they backstab you, or they betray you, or whatever the situation was. And now all of a sudden, you're pissed. Yeah, you showed up at 100. That person failed to meet your expectation, and now you're upset. And you have every right to be. It is valid. Of course. Sit and feel those feelings. Sit and genuinely feel how that made you feel. Write it out. Get your little trauma journal. Write it out. How it made you feel. Why you're feeling that way. The expectations of how you would have wanted them to show up. What your preference would have been in that situation if you were to rewrite it for your highest good. And then write the lessons and really feel and understand into the lessons. What did I learn from this situation? What did this situation show me about myself? About how I'm showing up and reacting to that person and their emotions? Big lessons. Big lessons. Nothing ever happens where you're not learning something about yourself, your path, things that you can heal within your own life. And pain is beautiful because it really brings up our own wounding, our own trauma. We're getting triggered and upset for a reason. What is that connected to? How can we get, into the deeper depths of this under a little microscope? See, okay, this triggered this little center in my body. Well, this is connected to this, that, the other. I really value these things. And they really went in and just triggered it. So I want us just to stop for one moment and take a deep breath. So close your eyes, not if you're driving. Pause and come back to this. But just close your eyes, put your hand over your heart, and just take a deep breath through your nose. Hold at the top. Take another sip in through the nose. And then audible exhale. And just sit for a minute. And give yourself permission to take the backpack of bricks off. Take it off. Put it down. This is not your responsibility. This is no longer yours to carry. Let it go. Let it go with intention. And know that these things aren't like a one and done, right? You're not going to journal one time, feel these emotions and be like, ooh, I'm good. No, it takes quite a while depending on the magnitude of the situation. And so be patient and kind with yourself. Give yourself the space to feel for however long it takes into that thing, but then also be very discerning and know when it's time to let go. Say, okay, I've had enough now. I'm letting it go. And so this is why I'm giving you guys this beautiful tool to not need the other person in order to receive forgiveness. So you are quite literally accepting the situation from all angles, yourself, the other person, the patterning that was weaved between you both from their trauma, their issues, their problems, your trauma, your issues, your problems. Take the ego out of it. Really, really see it. Breathe. Sometimes we forget to breathe, honestly. Breathe, be patient with yourself. You're accepting it, you're feeling it, and now let it go. Let it go. It's no longer your story. For as long as you make this your story, it becomes your identity. Now you are like a walking victim. You're like, well, this happened to me and I can't believe it, and I was cheated on and they betrayed me and it was my own family, and every situation, every social situation and new relationship that you're getting into or job or whatever, you are explaining yourself in this way of like these stories that aren't even yours. They're just ego wrapped in like this wounded part of yourself that you didn't let go of yet. And so forgiveness is to let go. It's not you. It's not your story. It's not your responsibility. And guess what? That person that did that thing that hurt you so deeply, they will get their own healing in time. Not your responsibility, not your problem. You forgave them, you let it go, you moved on. You moved on. Whew. How are we feeling? Are we okay? You guys okay? Like I'm never listening to this freaking podcast again. No, it's very freeing when you understand forgiveness in this way, because it literally it just makes so much sense, right? Why am I waiting on the person that hurt me to heal me? That just does not make sense. You are so powerful in your own embodiment, your own eternal soul, your own connection to source, universe, whatever higher power you believe in. Maybe you don't believe in a higher power. Maybe you believe in humanity or nature. Whatever is outside of you that is going to give you the grace to move through this, lean on it. Lean on it and know, I have the power to heal from this and let this go. I am now taking the beautiful lessons that I learned from this situation. I have so much gratitude for these lessons, and I am applying it to every other aspect of my life. So, okay, I notice this patterning coming up again. I notice a person who has these same kind of tendencies or qualities. I'm going to take what I learned from this situation that burned me in the past, and I'm going to apply that lesson to this present situation so that now I'm no longer stuck in it. So now this no longer happens to me again. If the same situation keeps happening to you with different people in different forms and different things, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and realize maybe it's my own patterning that I haven't broke from yet. Maybe it's something that I'm holding on to, that I keep creating this narrative that now I'm just making myself the main character in every single one of these stories over and over and over, where I need to actually pull myself out of the story completely and realize like, oh my God, I'm stuck in this thing. And so it does take a lot of, reflection, and it does take a lot of like honesty with yourself to be able to do so, of like, where am I getting caught up and stuck in these situations? Where am I kind of this person who's playing into this narrative in any way, shape, or form? How am I now speaking about this person, this situation to other people? Very important. Very important. Am I coming from a place of I'm genuinely seeking other advice and coming from a factual point of view, or am I very emotional and like wanting just to like gossip and wrap myself in drama? Like, what are our tendencies here? What is at the root of this here? So getting very, very clear on what that is so that you can move on. I think I'm going to leave this here. Forgiveness is a beautiful gift that you can give to yourself. If you let yourself feel all of it, take responsibility for your part in it, and let go of the expectation that the other person is going to meet you at your frequency when they didn't during the situation. Why would they now? Right? It's okay. It's okay. Everything happens for a reason. We're only human. Everybody makes mistakes, right? Be very discerning when that person, if that person comes back into your orbit, on the spaciousness that you're going to give them when they come back, the boundaries that you're going to put up. When somebody shows you their true colors, don't try and make stories that are telling you anything otherwise. People show you who they are very quickly. And again, it's not to judge. It's their human experience. We all have free will. Let them act as they will. It's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility. Take care of yourself. Do what you need to do. Speak up when there's, an actual issue that you think is harming somebody else. When you see something, say something, literally. If it's, again, this is all using your intuition and discernment, but really be intentional and ask yourself why. And so please post any questions that you have below, maybe your experiences with forgiving people. If you are familiar with being able just to forgive somebody within yourself in your own field, please just share anything below. Follow me on Instagram. It's at House of Antonia Co. I also do offer psychic readings. I'll link them below as well. The book with me, link. I have 30-minute and 60-minute sessions, as well as a 90-minute reset if there is a particular situation that you're needing a little bit of extra support around. Let me guide you, and we'll be back next time with more. Happy healing, and please just be patient with yourself in this forgiveness.